Watching them play in the snow, I think that these are probably their last moments of childhood. I was told the girl in purple is also married, and the girl in pink is up for sale as a bride for 25,000 euros. They're bold in their attacks and do not seem to care if their target is much stronger. This man has to physically fight them off before they finally leave. I wonder what makes them so fearless. The knowledge that they cannot be punished, or the desperation to make back the money that is paid for them. On another day, a car pulls over and the man ushers them in. It looks like the police, and they're taken away. Once the police identify the kids they pick up on the streets, they take them to this center. The role of this place is to assess the family situation of each child. If their family is deemed responsible, they are called to collect them. But I've been told that sometimes the kids are handed back to the very adults who sent them out to steal. So we decide to stake out the place to see who picks the children up. Soon, we see 3 children being released, but they're on their own. No one's collected them. One of them is the girl who stole a scarf in the center of Madrid. They head for the tube. They go into the underground station, but guards with dogs force them out. They seem lost, and we follow them as they continue to walk for miles, until eventually they catch the bus back to the rat-infested camp. I asked these people for an interview a few weeks ago, and they finally agreed to it. I really wanted to talk to the staff who work directly with the Gypsy children. Unfortunately, that's not possible. However, I'm meeting the head of the Madrid Institute for Children and Family. I really want to find out from her, what are they doing for these children? Can you release these children from this center if they're not picked up by an adult?
No.
No. Here we don't leave the door open for them to go. We wait for an adult to come because we are talking about minors.
On 2 other occasions, I saw young children being let out from the center and returning home on their own. Since the interview, Ms. Martin has said that in fact they can't stop the kids from coming and going as they please, as it's an open center, not a jail. I'm concerned about the Spanish authorities allowing underage children to wander the streets at night. But what worries me even more is the prospect of them handing back the children to those who may exploit them. Is it a good idea to return these children to the families that exploit them?
We never return a child to a family unless we have all the guarantees that the family is going to take care of the minor.
How do you make sure that the family doesn't exploit the child?
It's not a job we do from here. It's the job of the police and the judges to check. We ask for information from the social services to have guarantees that the family has the necessary means of survival, that they have jobs, a home, and of course we check if the child is at school, receiving his education like all other children in Spain.
This short interview didn't really allay my fears raised by what I'd seen during my surveillance of the center. One night, I watch as 3 young children, all around the age of 10, are released. They appear to be accompanied by 2 adults, but the adults go their own way, and the kids are on their own for over an hour. Then a man arrives. He wears a red hooded top. He goes inside the center, and soon after, he comes out with some more children. They all get in a green car.
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 children. A car full of children. This is the man in red.
They drive off. God, this is bad luck. Is it them? No. We're just following them. We're trying to find them. And we caught 2 red traffic lights, so I don't know if we'll ever catch up with them. We hit the motorway, which leads to the camp. But the chances of finding them now are quite slim.
Here they are.
Oh, they are there.
On the left.
Oh, there they are.
Yeah.
That's the car. We found them. Thank God for the traffic. We think they might be going to the camp, but we're not sure. Let's see. They didn't get off the Conde Gazelle and they're just ahead of us. These people don't live in the camp. They're turning right. Getting out of the car. There they are. All the kids. I'm gonna go and have a closer look. These guys don't live in a camp. They live in a block of flats over there. Over the next few days, we stake out the block of flats. Every morning, a woman checks to see if the coast is clear. Then, 4 young boys leave the building and take the tube. One day, we follow them into town. They split up into pairs. We watch as one of the pairs target a cash machine. One of the boys looks about 12, the other one as young as 8. They try to rob an elderly customer. These boys are aggressive. They don't stop until passers-by intervene. When I see them acting like this, my first reaction is anger. But then I remember that they are just young children. A few minutes later, they are at it again. The older boy pushes the younger one towards the customer, but the man, who's twice their size, pushes him back. They give up. These children are under enormous pressure to make money. They're gutsy and daring, and they're ready to take on and defy even strong young men. When passers-by approach, they pretend to beg. This is well rehearsed, and they're probably trained to act like this. As I watch them asleep on the tube, I ask myself, who are the adults forcing these kids into a life of crime? No one here in Madrid seems to be investigating. Back in the gypsy camp, the children are enjoying the snow. As they play, many other kids from this camp are on the streets of the city, robbing and stealing. What is to blame for their lost childhood? Is it extreme poverty? Is it the Roma culture? Or is it ruthless criminal exploitation? It's a new year, and the city is holding the traditional Three Kings parade for the Spanish children. Looking at their joyous faces, I can't help thinking about the gypsy children and how the city's authorities are failing them. Why are they being handed back to those who are at best neglecting them and at worst severely exploiting them?
Queridos padres, queridos abuelos, seguid ayudando a vuestros niños a creer que hay ilusiones maravillosas que vale la pena vivir y que nos hacen ser mejores personas. Feliz Noche de Reyes a todos. Muchas gracias.
To understand what's behind this disturbing phenomenon, I'm leaving Spain for the country where gypsy crime has come to dominate the headlines, Italy. Here, the right-wing government recently declared a gypsy emergency, giving police powers to the army in major cities and strengthening the immigration rules. And several gypsy camps have been attacked by local residents, some being burnt to the ground. I've come to Milan to meet the policeman who's been investigating crime in the gypsy community.
If I come to Italy and I try to live in Italy, I have to adapt to the Italian law and behave civilly, like any other citizen does. Stealing is a crime, and you can't hide behind your culture.
A few months after Romania joined the European Union in 2007, the police noticed a massive upsurge in pickpocketing and theft by children around Milan's central station.
So, we started an investigation that lasted 7 months. It showed the existence of a multi-pronged transnational organization that operates in different countries in Europe.
The police installed surveillance cameras around the square to identify the 50 gypsy children who are operating there and those who control them. The 13-year-old boy in the red-sleeved t-shirt follows a tourist to steal her money. But the woman notices him. She's shocked. The boy feigns innocence. There are dozens of attacks like this in the central station, day in and day out.
Then, obviously, we tapped the adults' phones, which they used to talk to each other. These kids were clearly controlled. They were controlled every single moment of the day.
The recordings show adults cruelly exploiting vulnerable children. This man, Adrian Pascu, was one of the controllers, said to have his own army of children stealing for him.
We learned that the organization could make about 400 euros per day from each kid. And if we calculated the activity over a period of a month, each kid earned about 12,000 euros. Then 12,000 euros times by 50 kids. If you do the maths, you reach an astronomical amount of money.
According to the police, the children were making over €500,000 per month for their exploiters. In order to establish the complex connections within the organization, it took months of hard work for Messina and his investigative team.
Men and women were part of this complex organization that was structured on 3 levels. At the first level, we have the young adults that control the kids while they're operating on the street. Then, at the second level, we have people whose job it is to pick up the kids.
The police found that members of the children's families were often involved.
Partendo dai genitori, ricostruiti i gruppi familiari, quindi le relazioni poi fra fratelli, cugini. È una struttura organizzata, non c'è dubbio.
Most of the money made by the children was sent to Romania.
C'era poi un terzo livello. Then the third level, the command level, the most important one, is based in Romania and consists of the bosses who decide the strategy of the organization and reinvest the money that comes from the criminal activities.
The police established that the Milan part of the operation was run from an illegal camp set in a derelict farm just outside the city. On the morning of the 11th of December 2007, Messina's team got ready to move in. Nearly 200 police officers with helicopter backup descended upon the gypsy camp.
Welcome.
Buongiorno. Tranquilli, un normale controllo di polizia.
There were around 200 people living in the camp.
Dai, forza. 1, 2, 3, dai fuori, dai, forza, veloci. Forza, dai, sotto. Vai, caro.
The police were looking for 25 suspects, all involved in the exploitation of the children operating at the central station.
Come ti chiami? Non sono G. Tua moglie dov'è?